Welcome back, guys. Speedrunning from the Law here. This is going to be another installment in my tutorial series where we are speedrunning Super Mario 64 70 star, and we're going to be doing that using beginner and intermediate strategies that anybody can learn. So today we're going to be talking about Fire Sea. It's very similar to Dark World, as you'll find a Bowser fight at the end, along with a key to progress to the next area in the game, and more red coins. Now, unlike Dark World, where you could go into Jolly Roger Bay and find the secret room instead of getting the red coins, here there is no backup star, so you have to get these red coins. Please learn how to do it. It's mandatory. One thing to note is that we will be going for a late cycle here. There is a faster way to do this star if you're advanced already. However, it pretty much needs perfect timing and perfect execution. There's no room for error, so if you don't have a really good time, probably under an hour, I wouldn't recommend trying to learn that, especially if you're just starting off. The strategy I'm going to show you allows you to make a few mistakes here or there, and you'll see in the video how we make it to a point quite early and have to wait around a while because we didn't make any mistakes. But I would still recommend doing it this way, mostly because we're halfway through the run, and you really don't want to lose a run halfway through because you tried to save 10 or 15 seconds when your time isn't even below an hour yet. So what I did was I pre-recorded me going through and showing what it should look like, just so I could get it perfect, so I didn't mess anything up for you guys, and then I will go back in and kind of walk you through what exactly is going on. So let's watch. And right up here you'll see we have to wait a bit for the elevator stairs to come back down. But normally this is the timing right here where it would allow you to make one or two mistakes beforehand. It really doesn't lose too much time. It's about 10 seconds slower than the faster strat. Alright, and so that's the red coins. And here you'll see we are about to head on to the Bowser fight. I just showed you the movement, how to get there, but I didn't pre-record that. We will go over the Bowser fight at the end of me walking you through. So now let's go back and kind of walk you through what's happening here. Volume. Alright, so first thing to note is that while we're falling down, we want to C-stick left twice so we get this nice view right here. If you don't do that, you're going to have a pretty hard time. So always remember to do that. Do it on the way falling down. That way you don't lose any time once you've already fallen down. Now the next thing to note is that because this is a cycle-based star, timing does matter. Like I said before, we have to get to that point fairly quickly with little room for error going for a late cycle. Talking about what we need to do here, I'm going to be pausing and going slower a bit, so we're not going to make that cycle, but it should be okay. So from here, we're going to do two long jumps, and what we want to do is angle Mario up and to the left here. If we angle him straight, one of two things are going to happen. We're either going to make it to this slanted block up there, but we're not going to have any angle to actually walk up it, and we'll slide it right down, or we'll make it there and we won't have any momentum because we had to force Mario left while all his momentum was already going forward. So what we want to do is start running a step and change our angle to about here, and we can get 1, 2, and this is about where you want to land. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to run up about a step and a half to the top of this platform, and we want to do an immediate jump dive. And that's, again, A and B at the same time while pressing A barely before B. We don't want to jump too high before getting the dive in. We want to do it in a synchronous motion. And what that's going to do is we're going to land on these platforms up in front of us that are bouncing in the lava. and we will land on the first one, and we will hit our rollout once we hit that, and it will roll us out onto the second platform. And then from that position, we're going to do another long jump. So look, now we get that, and we roll out, and see we have rolled out right here. Now a few things to note about this point. To get that rollout to roll out all the way to the next platform, you need to have enough momentum. And that's the point I was getting at earlier when I was talking about lack of momentum not allowing you to do a jump dive. So you need to have a fair bit of momentum. So you want to be moving fast while you're doing this. There's really no room to stop and slow down. If you really have to stop and slow down, you can just booty burn your way all the way over up there, but it is going to be slow. I don't know if you'll even be able to make late cycle doing it that way, so I would recommend trying to learn this movement. It is a little tricky at first, but you get quite used to it. And so now that we've made it towards the second platform, we should still be retaining our momentum. If we don't have our momentum at this point anymore, it's not the end of the world because our long jump will still ledge grab this platform here in front of us. However, if we do have our momentum, we can actually go higher than the ledge grab, and we're going to get a double jump up to the platform instead of having to slow down and do a triple jump. It's quite fast to do it to miss the ledge grab. So here, I'm going to get a ledge grab here, just like that. And note, like you saw in the video earlier, I had enough momentum to miss the ledge grab, and all I did was, and I've talked about this before, when you fall from a platform without actually jumping, the game still thinks you have jumped. So what it does is it registers that you have jumped, and the next time you jump, you're actually going to do a double jump. And so with the momentum and with this mechanic right now, if we had speed right here, we could walk off and just click jump. And our double jump would be high enough to actually make it up to this caged platform to the left right here. It may not look like it even when you get it, but trust me, if you have the momentum, which is basically if you don't get the ledge grab, you can just walk right off and press jump and move your stick up and to the left. Now what happens if we get a ledge grab here? We have to do a triple jump from here. So your first jump is going to want to be a speed kick, simply because we don't gain any forward movement with a speed kick. We can do it in place. And as you see, we have little room to actually get this triple jump off. Now what's going to happen is our first jump and our second jump are going to be on the platform we are at right now. Our third jump is actually going to land down on these platforms that lava is moving over and under from. Now, obviously you don't want to hit the lava with your third jump. So you need to either wait until the platforms are mostly dry or be very precise with where you land, because you can actually land on the little sliver when all the lava is on top of it. However, that's quite dangerous. So how it's going to look is 1, 2, 3. And we can triple jump right up to this platform right here. Very simple. Again, that is a strategy you do if you hit that ledge grab. If you didn't get the ledge grab, great for you. You can walk off and jump. And with your momentum, you will end up right here on the same space. Now we're going to divert left up here to grab this red coin. There's two ways to do this. The faster way is to run up to the left and do a jump dive onto the beginning of the platform and roll out over the gap right there. Now you do need some momentum to do this. See, like that, we were able to clear the distance. So you have to jump before you start walking up this slanted platform, because this slanted platform will actually make you lose all your momentum because, again, you're running uphill. So you want to go like that, and see, it's really going to look kind of sketchy. It's not going to look like you have the distance to get over if you jump before this, but trust me, you do. However, you do need to get the highest jump you possibly can before you do that rollout. And again, you need to be holding directly left the whole time you're doing this so you have that momentum. And you need to hit a pretty good rollout in order to do it. If you wait too long and you start sliding on the ground, it's not going to go well. The other thing you can do is you can simply just run up here and jump over and grab the coin. And that's okay too, it's really not that much slower. Now at this point we're going to be right here. And what we want to do is C-stick left one time. And what that's going to do is that's going to set us up nicely to do 2 long jumps. Now this part right here is quite tricky. You're going to have to mess around with neutraling and then unneutraling the control stick here. If you don't do it very well, what's going to happen is you're going to wall jump too hard and you're going to miss the pole up there, or you're going to bonk because you didn't wall jump soon enough. There is a backup to get up there later, however, obviously it is quite slow. So what you want to do is first you want to make sure Mario is angled a bit up and left. And this is because you see the platform with the pole up there. Well, we're going to try to get a wall kick off the front of that platform. So we need an angle to do that. If we're angled too far right, you're not going to get the wall jump. You're just going to hit the wall and it's going to eat any input and you have no chance of getting that wall jump at all. So the first long jump is going to want to be about right here. And in the middle of this long jump, we want to adjust Mario a little to the right. So about halfway through the long jump, you're capable of clicking right on the analog stick and it will move Mario a bit to the right. And you see now we're a bit to the right. And from here, if I wasn't pausing, we're going to land about right here. And what we can do from here is the way this works is you can actually land on this platform and run for a short second before you get your second long jump off. And what we want to do from here is do our best to turn Mario a little more left. That way we're facing this and we can get that off. That's what we're trying to get, that wall jump. Now again, to get this wall jump, you have to have a perfect angle. That's the first thing about this wall jump, which is why it's very hard. The second thing about this wall jump is it's very easy to wall jump and wall jump backwards away from the pole. So what you have to do is you have to get the wall jump with the neutral analog stick, and then once you have actually hit that wall jump, you want to hold directly up on the analog stick so Mario kind of goes backwards to where he just jumped. So it's going to be long jump, neutral, back, all the way back this way. And doing that, the angle we have chosen, you should land directly on this pole. Now say you're having a really hard time with that, which is understandable. What you can also do, which is much easier, is literally just long jump all the way over here, and you can booty burn your way up on this platform. And it's really not that much slower. It's only about 4 or 5 seconds slower, so it's not that big a deal. And say you can't get up here at all, you missed the lava or whatever, and somehow you landed down here, you can actually side flip and do the same thing we did with the long jumps. That's still harder than a booty burn in my opinion, but it is a strategy you can use. And now once we're up here, notice there's a red coin on that platform over there. We're actually going to grab that later. What we want to do first is we want to climb up and we want to C-stick right 3 different times so we have this view. Now this is very important to remember to C-stick right 3 times while we're shimmying up this pole. And that's because, as you can see, this box up here we have only has one big wall that you can actually see through. The rest are solid. So once we get to the peak of this, what we want to do is press jump with a neutral analog stick. You don't want to press anything. If you're pressing forward, you're going to go way too far. If you're pressing backwards, you're going to fall down in the hole again. So I have pressed jump with a neutral star, or a neutral analog stick. And what we can do now that we're right here is set up a side flip. So once you jump, you want to set up a side flip and wall kick up to this coin. Alternatively, you can literally just run and wall jump too. I prefer the side flip. I don't think one is much faster than the other, so it's really whatever you prefer. But however you want to do it, you can jump off and start throwing your momentum this way, and you can do a dive rollout to be a bit faster. Dive rollout to be a bit faster like that. If you don't do the dive rollout, you can see it's still okay, but it's a bit slower. And so the next thing we want to do is this elevator right here. As soon as we step on it, it's going to start traveling upwards. We don't want to take that elevator quite yet. We actually have to go back down to get that coin, as well as a coin right underneath this elevator. So what we want to do is with our speed, we want to tap the front of it and then immediately hold back. And then we do 1 jump, 2 jump, and a kick. And again, be neutral during that kick. Otherwise, you'll do a dive. And so now that we're here, we've landed here, we want to C-stick left twice and do a long jump that booty burns us over to this coin, and you can actually grab that coin in the air on your way up. If you miss the coin on the way up, make sure to C-stick right once you're up here. You can jump over and grab it, and now we're here again. And so the fastest way to get back onto this pole is to do a jump, dive, side flip like such. It's also possible if you're having trouble doing the jump side flip because the depth of the pole is a little challenging to see with C-stick right like this. You can also C-stick right to see forward and just jump on and then adjust back your camera. However, it's important to remember that we need our camera in this view while we're going up. And once we hit about here where we can see, we want to C-stick right. We want to keep our camera like this, C-stick right, jump, and when we jump out, we want to C-stick left twice again. And to explain what's going on here is basically, first we need the camera like this because we need to actually see where we're going. Then, the only way Mario can move to the left here is if we shift the camera. So we want to shift the camera right twice and point Mario in the direction of the elevator. So when we jump, we're now facing the elevator. Then the next step is to press the camera left twice again, so we can get easy wall jumps off. Now, camera movement can be quite confusing and frustrating, but it is really the only way to do this fast. Otherwise, you're going to have no clue where Mario is, and he's going to be jumping all around. So you're going to want to make sure you keep that camera angle straight. Now that we're here, we can literally run and do 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, 4 jump, and we can land over here. If you do it perfect, you can get your last jump off this side of the wall and actually land over here. If you're having trouble managing the distance on that, you can also land right here like we just did. That's fine. You can just jump over the gap. Now note, there is a bit of lag while you're wall jumping up this, so you're just going to have to get used to timing the wall jumps with lag. There's a few stars that we're going to have to do that with, so try to get used to it now. And so now that we're here, we want to C-stick right twice so we have a frontal view of everything. And now if you're right here, just jump over. And what we're going to do right now is also sort of tricky. There is an easier way to get up here if you're having trouble with it. But we're going to do 2 long jumps. The second long jump should be landing on this slanted platform in front of us. And then we immediately want to run right and up with our momentum and do a jump dive onto the yellow slanted platform going up to that red coin. So how this should look is 1, 2, jump dive right here. And note there is a bully right here, which is why we're jump diving and kind of staying on this platform right here because he can't get us. So once you have jumped and dove on this platform, you want to make it up here and avoid the bully and grab the coin. Now, if you are having trouble with this double long jump strat, what you can do is you can just make your way over here. You can kind of walk up like that as long as you have the speed. If you try to walk up from no speed, it's a bit harder to get up, so you'll kind of go really slow and then eventually you'll slide down. So what I would recommend was jumping once to get high and kind of just jumping over here. It can be a little tricky, but you can do it. And we run up here, and what we have to do now is the elevator, if you're doing this in the correct timing, should actually be about where the elevator is right now, fairly high. And we have to wait for that to come all the way down so we can long jump to it. So what you're going to have to do is actually avoid this bully for a bit. And once it's at its lowest peak, what we can do is actually jump to it, and I fell down there. But one thing you can do with this bully is you can just kind of kick it around until you kick it off, just to make sure you don't die or anything. And we want to jump off this corner right here and do a long jump over here. So again, I want to go back and kind of show you the corner where we should be jumping from. This corner right here is the corner where we should be jumping from. So we want to have our camera forward as such. We're going to be about right here, and we want to gain speed while we're running towards this corner so our long jump can reach. So we want to be jumping from about here. And now that we're here at the bottom, we want to move our camera left twice. And that is because we are about to grab a coin when the elevator goes up right above us. And this is going to be another period of waiting. Now you can side flip towards the next platform to grab this coin. However, wait until you actually see the coin to side flip, because if you side flip too early, you'll miss the coin and have to run back. And what we're about to do right here is very time sensitive. You need to do this fast. So now that we see the coin, now we've side flipped in this direction. And what we're about to do next can be quite tricky. I'm going to explain it to you though with a few pauses. So we want to run up to this third platform, right? See these notches in the bridge? The first one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. From side flipping and grabbing this coin, we want to run up to this third one. And this third one is where we're actually going to do our side flip. And so why this is time sensitive is because you can actually get that side flip from getting this coin. So say we're about to move up now. We're going to grab this coin here soon. We've grabbed the coin, we're up to the third one. We side flip backwards to the right, and then we're going to wall kick off this platform up here, back left, and there will be another platform left where we can wall kick back right. Now this is kind of confusing and kind of difficult. You're going to have to mess around with it a little bit before you get it perfectly, as you can see. And we can actually land all the way up here as such. And the lava is going to be on the same cycle on these platforms every time you get up there like that. So you're going to have quite a bit of room the first time you get up. Now if you're having a lot of trouble with that strategy, I will show you another way to get up. But I would encourage you to remember how to, or at least try to learn how to do this strat. And really all you need to remember is the visual cue of this third prong right here to side flip backwards. And if you're doing it while grabbing the red coin, the amount of time it takes you to run here and side flip will be the perfect timing and the perfect height to get that wall kick off. There are instances where if you grab the coin and then miss it and try to wait for it again, you can go up too soon and you see there's nothing to wall kick off of. So if you miss that, just make your way up here and jump over on this platform and make your way up here. It's more of a casual way to do it, but the speedrun way is actually quite challenging, especially if you're a beginner, so it's perfectly fine to do it like that. So now that we're over here, we see there's a red coin over there we have to grab, and there's quite a bit of annoying things on our way. There's 2 fire shooters, and there's an electric ball flying around. Now the fire shooters really aren't that big of a concern if you got up the wall kick way. What you're really worried about is this electric guy, because he will actually be exactly where you're going to land if you keep going right. So what you're going to have to do is either slow down or jump really high over him. Sometimes you still get hit just because of bad RNG and it's really hard to avoid him. But even if you get hit, it's not that big a deal. You can recover quite easily. So we want to jump on these platforms. And you'll see you can just make your way through this as quick as you can while grabbing these red coins, all the while trying not to get lava burned. However, if you do get lava burned, the important thing is just to try to recover and not die, because if you can make it to this platform over here, you can actually use this heart to restore all your life. And you're going to need at least 7 life slices for what we're about to do next. If you have less than 7, you're going to die. So if you have less than 7, you need to hit this heart before you move on. Now with this camera, what we're going to do is long jump and take a booty burn, take another booty burn here, and once we take our second booty burn, we're going to shift our stick up and to the left to grab this red coin. And you'll see how that works. And now it is possible to grab that red coin and also land over here if you hook right far enough, as you saw in the video I showed you. If not, you'll take a second burn and you can just recover yourself. And that's why it's important, if you can, to have full health, because you can get very close to dying at this point. So now that we're here, there's 2 ways we can get up to get that star. One, it's a little bit faster, but it's quite a bit harder strategy, but it feels really nice if you can get it, is to actually run and do a wall kick off the wall, if you can get a good angle. Why this is so challenging is because it's really hard to get a good angle. See, like my angles are getting eaten by the wall right now. So you have to be facing the wall quite well, and you can ledge grab right here. The second way, which is the easier way, which is much more consistent and will basically never result in death, so I recommend you do it this way, is to side flip over here. If you side flip over here, you will grab this ledge every time, and it looks skinny, but you'll be perfectly fine if you press X to get up, and then C-stick right twice. And now that we've C-stick right twice, we're facing perfectly forward, and all we have to do is click forward, jump up here, and we can do a long jump to the second platform, and we will make it. Now before we grab this star, we want to do our best to C-stick left twice because our movement towards the Bowser is going to be over here and we need this camera. So at this point you can grab the star and we're going to do a jump, dive, a dive, jump, dive into the hole. And now we made it to the Bowser fight, and I'm going to talk about this Bowser fight just because it's a little different than the first one. So here what he's going to do is he's going to ground pound the stage, and lava's going to come down. All we want to do is jump and kick to get behind him, and wait for the platform to stop moving, C-stick right, and then we can throw him. And if you miss, what's going to happen is he's going to jump back up and do the same thing. So make sure you're facing forward, so you can do a jump kick, wait for everything to stop moving, and like that you can kill Bowser. You'll get the key, and then you can move on to the upstairs area of the game. Make sure to talk to Bowser. And just like that, we have the key, and that is how to get the Fire Sea Reds and defeat Bowser. Now, it is quite a hard star, one of the more challenging stars in the run, so don't be too discouraged if you're having a hard time with it. If you can do Dark World, you can definitely do this, and if you can do this, you can definitely finish the run. So don't fret. If you have to go slower, go slower. It's not a big deal, especially if you're just learning the game. Guys, if there's anything else I can explain or help you out with, please drop a comment below. I'd love to make a supplemental video for you or just help you out in the comments, whatever you need. It's why I'm here. If you enjoy my content, I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. It means a whole lot to me. And I hope to see you in the future. Thanks.